Hey guys, it's Stacey and I'm going to take you through a WOW workout, which stands for Workout of the Week. I've decided to do an EMOM. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 8 exercises total. We're going to work for 3 rounds through the workout, which equals to a total of 24 minutes for the workout. Now, with an EMOM, the goal is to work for every single minute. In saying that, for each exercise, I'm going to give you a target rep range of 20 to 25 reps to try and achieve for that exercise in that minute. Once you've achieved those reps, you can use the rest of the time as your recovery before you get into the next exercise. If you don't complete that target amount of reps in that time though, you do need to just move on to the next exercise. Now, to make transitions easier between each exercise, the only piece of equipment you're going to need is a plate weight. I would recommend that you maybe have 2 different sets of weights just in case, because some exercises you might want to go a bit lighter and some you might want to go a bit heavier. So just do what is best for you. Make sure you've got enough space and get ready to work out. Let's go. Before we get into today's workout, guys, we're going to go through a warm-up first. Each exercise we're going to aim to do for 30 to 45 seconds, depending how warm you feel. All right, let's get into it. All right, to start the warm up, guys, we're going to do a squat with a trunk rotation. So squat down, come up, bring your arms out, rotate left, rotate right. Squat down, arms out, rotate right, rotate left. So keep bringing the weight back into the heels, keep rotating through that torso. You don't have to go super deep, just keep it nice and light. Next exercise for our warm-up is frog squats. So have your feet fairly wider than hip width apart. Hold on to your hands, so interlace your fingers. Bring your elbows between your knees and push your knees out with your elbows. Bring your hips as high as you can, low as you can. High as you can, low as you can, okay? So just working through those hammies, getting a bit of hip mobility through here, okay? Next one, guys, we're going to do an inchworm into a push-up. So bend your knees for support if you need to. Crawl all the way down into a plank. Then go out for your wide push-up. Come out of the push-up and then crawl your hands all the way back up to your feet. Okay, so as you crawl down, you want to feel the length through your hammies, holding the plank here to get a bit of abs, and then go down for the push-up, working the arms, and then crawling all the way back up. Warm up, guys. We should already be in this position from our inchworm, holding that downward dog, and just drop your hips, extend long through your stomach. So pike the hips up, get a bit of a hammy stretch, and then drop the hips down, get that nice extension through the spine and through the front of the torso. So just piking up, lowering down, piking up, lowering down. exercise for your warm-up, guys. We're going to be up on our feet going into our single arm windmills. So just place one hand over the shoulder and then windmill one arm. So just do a couple going one way, stop the direction, go a couple the other way. Try to split the time in half. So try to do half of the set time on one arm and then the other half of the set time on the other arm. Okay, getting that full range of motion in that arm. Exercise 6 for the warm-up, guys. Just balancing on one leg, going into our leg swing. So just going forward and back. Just, it doesn't have to go super high. We're just getting the leg nice and warm. If you lose your balance, it's totally fine. Just do a couple forward and back and going across the body as well. Try to keep your balance as best as you can, or hold on to a structure if you need to. Halfway through the set time, just change onto the other leg. So again, going forward and back. Make sure you go across the body, just warming up those legs. We're going to get nice and warm now. We're going to go into our high knees and butt kicks. So we need to do 10 high knees, getting those knees up towards your hips, and then 10 butt kicks, kicking the heels towards your butt. Okay, so 10 forward and 10 behind. All right, finishing off our warm-up, guys, just going to do some light star jumps. So just making a star, jumping it back in, nice and light on the toes, nice and light through the body, getting that heart rate up, nice and warm. So moving on to our workout, guys. Our exercise 1 is a sumo squat into a bicep curl. So have your plate ready to go. Hold the outside edges of the plate. Have a wider than hip width stance. Heels in, toes out. And you're going to come with your arms nice and long. Squat down as low as you can, keeping your hips aligned with your knees if you can. And then you're going to come out of that squat and curl the plate into your chest. So everything comes down. Everything comes up. Your elbows stay fixed at your sides. You're not moving the whole arm. You're just moving the forearm. So it's nice and controlled through there. guys, we're going to go into a tricep extension. So have your feet about hip width apart, soft knees, holding the outside of the plate. Bring it over your head. Keep your core engaged, you're not arching your back here. Keep your elbows nice and close to your ears, and just bend the forearms back behind you. Extend it all the way back up over your head. Okay, so the only thing that's moving is your forearms, so keeping that core engaged so you don't arch through that lower back. And it's just a nice controlled movement here, okay guys? All right, exercise 3 is going to be a single Romanian deadlift. Now, it does require a bit of balance, so if you do have issues with balance, just wait till the end where I give you a different option, okay? If you're doing the standard version, just hold the plate either side, balance onto one leg, nice soft leg, have the other leg nice and long ready to go, hinge the hips, so we're lowering down and getting length through the hamstring, and then hinge the hips forward to squeeze the glutes. And just make sure that you either alternate or you try and do half the reps on one leg, half the reps on the other leg, okay? Now, if you have poor balance, you can still do the movement, but just do a staggered stance rather than having the leg lifted. So staggered stance, think starting in your normal upright position, but just slide one heel up. Okay, so you've still got a difference in weight distribution, but you've got that toe on the ground to stabilize you and keep you upright and nice and balanced, okay? Try to lift it a little bit if you want to challenge yourself, but that's a perfectly fine option if you've got poor balance. Exercise 4, guys, we're going into a weighted sit-up, okay? Now we're going to try and keep our arms straight the whole time, so have your heels relatively close towards your hips, have your hands holding the outer sides of the plate, articulate through the spine as you come all the way up. Once you're sitting on top of your tailbone, make sure the plate's still over your head, and then we roll from the bottom of the pelvis, middle back, upper back, shoulders touch the ground, and basically you're just working to articulate the spine and just keep your arms nice and fixed. If your arms start to get tired, you can bring it into the chest, and then as you roll up, try and press it overhead, okay? Do whatever works best for you. If you need to take the plate out for this one or go a lighter weight, I would highly recommend. 5, guys, is a bit of a burner. So holding the outer edges of the plate, have your feet hip width apart, maybe toes slightly out if you don't have much ankle range of motion or mobility. Come down for a nice low squat. In this position, you're going to press the plate away, extending your arms and bring it back into the chest. I'll show you from a side angle as well. So weight going back into the heels for that squat. Keep your chest up, push the plate away, bring it back in. Push it away, bring it back in, okay? It's an absolute burner, so if you do need to regress your weight, I would recommend that you do. Into a hip thruster. So in that same sit-up position we were before, where your heels are nice and close towards your hips, have the plate on your thighs, laying onto your back. Use the heel of your hands to push the plate onto your thighs. Make sure it doesn't roll onto your belly because it's quite uncomfortable. Again, make sure those heels are nice and close towards your hips. Weight goes back into the shoulder blades. Keep the chest wide as you push the hips up, squeeze your glutes, and then bring the hips down. So tailbone touches the ground. Push up, squeeze through the glutes. Tailbone touches, big squeeze through the glutes. Okay, if you want to make it a bit more challenging, bring those toes off the ground and it'll give you that little bit extra height. Otherwise, you can add more plate weights to make it harder as well. Okay? Into some abdominal work again. We're going to be laying down. Again, have your hands holding the outer edge of the plate and your arms are just going to stay directly above your shoulders. So they're going to stay in this position the whole time. Your legs are going to come to a tabletop position, which is both knees at 90 degrees. Make sure your knees are directly above your hips, not coming in towards your chest. So keep them above your hips and you're going to extend one leg out, bring it back in. One leg out, bring it back in. So it's nice and controlled. And you're just keeping this up in the air as long as you can. And if you want to make it challenging, bring both legs out and in. Just make sure when you bring it out, if you feel your lower back starts to arch, it may mean you need to reduce your range for how far you go down, okay? So do what is ever best for you, okay? last exercise, guys, we actually aren't going to need the plate because we are just going to do some burpees, okay? So we're going to do a big jump up, hands down, chest down, jump back up all the way through, okay? So chest down, sprawl up, big jump up, and get back all the way up and down, nice and smooth. If you need to regress, just break it down, do your little squat jump, hands down, plank, feet in, and stand up, and do your little jump and go through the movement again. All right, have fun. Well done on getting through that workout, guys. Awesome effort. We're now going to come down to the ground and just go through some stretches, okay? So I'm going to give you the stretch, and then I'm going to give you roughly 30 seconds to 45 seconds to focus on the stretch. Now, especially if we're doing a single side, make sure halfway through the time you switch to the other side, okay? Find a mat if you've got one, or just lay down on a towel and get nice and comfortable. First stretch, guys, we're going to do our lumbar stretch. So laying down nice and long, have your hands out to the side, bring your right knee up first, grab it with your left hand, pull it over to your left and look towards your right hand. Next stretch, guys, we're going to go into our book openings. So laying down on your side, have your hand behind your head, have your knees in line with your hips, bent at 90 degrees, have your other hand behind your head, resting down here. Take a big deep breath in, big breath out as you bring that elbow up to the sky and then back behind you. Just take nice big deep breaths into the rib cage here. Big breath in, big breath out, and bring it all the way back in. Next stretch, guys, we're going to do your hammies. So laying down nice and long, bring one leg up to the sky, grab either behind the thigh or behind the calf, depending how deep of a stretch you need. You can bend this leg in for support if you need, and just focus on flexing and pointing the leg, getting that nice big stretch up the back of the leg. All right, we're going to go into our glute stretch. So, should still be lying down. Bring one ankle on top of your thigh. Loop your hands through around your thigh or around your shin, and focus on just pushing that knee out as far as you can. We're just going to do a stretch for the abdominals now. So come down to laying on your tummy. Have your hands underneath your shoulders, legs together, and you're just going to push through your hands until you come up into an extension. So just feel it in your lower back and in the front of your tummy. If it's a bit too powerful in your back, just reduce your range a little bit, okay? You should still feel it through the core. Next stretch, we're just going to do a child's pose, so nice wide knees, toes touching, hands in front, sink the weight back into the heels and just focus on crawling those hands as far forward as you can. Take 9. All right, we're just gonna do some stretches for the arms. So have one arm straight, cradle it in with the other arm. Try to keep the shoulder down if you can, and just focus on pulling that arm nice and close to you. We're gonna get into our tricep stretch. So grab onto the elbow, pull that arm down as best as you can, and just take nice deep breaths here. Last stretch, guys, we're just going to do a standing roll down. So just have ankles, knees and hips all aligned. Take a big breath in. Start from the head first. Drop the chin to the chest. Roll your shoulders, upper back, middle back, lower back. Bend your knees for support if you need. As you drop the hands down, hang nice and heavy. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Roll up through the pelvis first. Lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulders and chin. So that completes the workout, guys. Great job. I hope you're feeling really warm and nice and worked out after that. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you when you're in the gym next. Bye, guys.